tell me about the history of the Jewish community in the City of London.
So the Jews lived here in medieval times, actually, but then there was an expulsion that happened in 1290. And then, as I mentioned, beginning in the 1600s, Jews began to resettle over here. And what was remarkable, it was one of the places where Jews had the greatest rights out of any place else in the world at that time. There were still some limits. They couldn't hold public office at the very beginning. It wasn't until the middle of the 19th century that the first Jew sat in parliament. But in terms of, shall we say, day-to-day rights, the Jews lived here freely and really were able to participate in life. And this was a wonderful, experience. And I know the Jewish community today, in Britain really looks back and feels so privileged that this has been their home.
So the last time I was here, it was covered in scaffolding. There's still building work going on outside. So tell me, what have you been doing? What's the refurbishment been?
Yeah, so it coincided with COVID, where we were fortunate enough to receive a match funding grant from the National Lottery Heritage Fund to do a restoration of the synagogue and also to build a visitor center. And as you can see, the synagogue bit has been completed.
It looks beautiful. It
Thank
really
you.
does. It's stunning.
It's shining. It looks magnificent. Ultimately, we're excited to have this be a place where we can welcome more and more people, Jewish people, non-Jewish people, people of faith, people of no faith, where they can come and can learn about the history of this synagogue, learn about the beautiful heritage of this community, see the remarkable collection of objects and documents that date back to the 17th century. It's a story of this synagogue, but it's really an example of the story of life in London throughout the centuries.